there was a point right before I started making money where I was almost $50,000 in debt. I would say May of 2001, I took out a small business. I took out a second mortgage on my home for like 10 grand, and I quit my job. And I was like, I'll live on this 10 grand until my career takes off, and that didn't happen. So for a number of years, I was self-publishing by printing the comics in Canada and selling them to Diamond for comic book shops. And then I would pay that printing bill with a credit card, and then when the money would come in from Diamond, I would keep it. So I was making enough to break even on the book, but I was using the money that Diamond paid me to live, and then I was just amassing a ton of credit card debt on the side. So by the time I actually started making a living in comics, there was a point right before I started making money where I was almost $50,000 in debt, and I was making about $900 a year. So there were some pretty stressful times early on in my career.
What made you decide you would take that chance?
Stupidity? I don't know. Todd McFarlane, I was on a panel with him, and he said there's a difference between an employee and an entrepreneur. And an employee will walk up to the edge of the cliff and go, hey, is there something soft for me down there? And how far am I going to fall? How fast am I going to fall? Should I do this? What's going to happen? And an entrepreneur takes like 10 steps back and then leaps off, and then halfway down they go, hey, I wonder if I'm going to land on anything soft. And it's totally true. When he was saying that, I was like, yeah, that's what I did. I was like, I would like to do comics. I'm going to do comics. I wonder if this will work, And by the time I said, I wonder if this will work, I'd been doing comics for like 6 months and was broke. So, whatever.
Even so, though, 6 months in a year, that's amazing. Most people in the industry, it's 10 years before you can make a living at it.
I don't know, man. I didn't have a lot of time. I was very young. I actually got married the month after I quit my job, so that happened, and my wife was like, "What are we doing?" And she had a job and helped support us through that time too, which is kind of cool, and builds a good relationship and all that. But I don't know. It was pretty crazy times for me for a good long time. But if it had taken me 10 years, I'd have given up. So I just kind of had to get in and get out. And if it wasn't going to work out, I'd have been pushing a broom somewhere, and happily doing it. But